But so yeah, you're 3 years as a cop. Like, by the way, cop, is that like a derogatory term? Sometimes I say cop and I'm like, I said policeman. Is that a thing, or I'm trying to be polite here.
No. That's totally acceptable. Police officer, cop. I guess cop is just like the quick little
What is
term that you.
what is cop? What is that? What does that mean? What is cop?
You know what, Sean? That's a really good question. I've never looked into it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who
So
made it,
random.
right? I don't know.
But yeah, so you had some. What made you? How was your experience as a cop? And yeah, like what made you kind of leave to kind of start your own thing? Like what was that like?
Well, being a police officer, being a cop was very, very exciting. And to be honest with you, that's not what I wanted to do. I've always known that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and be my own boss. But my father actually, so my parents, they migrated from the islands of Samoa back in the early 80s. Are you familiar with
Okay.
any Samoans?
Yeah, the Samoans, like that is out in like Polynesia area, right?
There you go, buddy. There you go.
I've been to Bora Bora before on a fancy
Wow, it's
vacation.
beautiful out there. How'd you like it?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's really
Um,
nice.
yeah, it was great, and yeah, I actually just got married like a week ago,
You
and
did.
I did. Yeah, I got my
Congratulations,
ring. I
buddy.
got my ring on my finger,
Wow,
and
welcome
we
to the
haven't.
club.
We haven't taken a honeymoon, but we were thinking of going to Hawaii. But I'm as familiar as anyone with the area over there, the Polynesians. I'm on point there, right?
Yes, you are. You are.
And your parents came here before they had you.
Yes.
Okay, first generation.
First generation. So, my father, obviously, when people come from the islands or people migrate here, they come here for the American dream, right? And so
Love
my
that.
father, being a manly man, being a protector and provider, he's like, you know what? We moved here. I want my son, to have his hand at, I want him to be a police officer, a fireman, something like that, right? Public safety, helping people. So my father, right when I graduated high school, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know what route I wanted to take. Right. So I was messing around a lot, Sean, going out there, getting into trouble, racing cars, just a bunch of mischief. So my dad's like, hey, either you get your shit together and you go to school and you take it serious, or I want you to go test to be a police officer. And I was like, wow, go to school or be a cop. What am I going to pick? I was over school, man. School is not
Okay.
for me. So I tested, long story short, I got accepted, passed the academy and everything. And it was fun, man. I was 23 years old running the streets as a police officer. Me and my buddies, I had a couple buddies in the police department with me. And, we're working the night shift. So as you can imagine, all the mischief happens at night. When you're young, you want that graveyard shift, right? So we're out there, kicking down doors and seeing what we can get into. So it was fun. Now, here's the part, Sean, where, my story takes a twist, is that there's a lot of politics out there, right?
Yeah. Right.
And it's starting to come out now where it's
Okay.
like, the trust between the cops and the community. And then there's like corruption in police departments. I'm not saying any names. I'm not saying that was the case there specifically, right? I got to still
Okay.
be politically correct. But yeah, I would say that a little bit of immaturity on my part and a lot of politics had to play with why I was forced to take a different path.
Oh, would you have stuck with it, do you think, if everything would have went smoother?
Um,
You wanted to be an entrepreneur. I mean, a cop is an honorable job. By the way, Brandon looked it up. Cop comes from the verb take or seize. It's derogatory in England. Okay.
okay, so let's just
If you wanted to know, whatever. Yeah, whatever. But it's not an entrepreneurial job. It's an honorable job. But you said you wanted to be an entrepreneur, right?
Always, brother. I always wanted to, I guess you could say, be my own boss. Now
Yeah.
that I'm dead smack in the middle of here, I see that you're never really your own boss, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're there to serve the people, right? You're there to provide value. You're there to provide content. And yeah, man, you're there to
Yeah.
make a difference.
I hear you. But you said it was entertaining and exciting to be a cop.
Bro, it was fun. It was
Yeah?
so much fun. It
Okay,
was-
that's interesting because I don't know. I've never been a cop, and you see movies and you hear the stories, and there's all the conversation now about pulling out your gun and all those rules.
Yep.
But sometimes I just think that I feel like there's a lot of cops who never had to even use their gun their whole career, 40 years. I don't
Yep.
know. Maybe that's more in like Montana or in middle of nowhere. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a suburban cop might have an easy life or something like that. But your experience was exciting, entertaining, and always something to do and something to chase.
Always something to chase. I never had to, I never had to discharge my firearm or anything like that. But I got into my scuffles as a cop. Car chases, foot pursuits. I did everything, man. It was a lot.
Do you know anyone that had to whip their gun out?
Yeah. So actually, when I was, done being a cop, maybe like that was in 2010. In 2012, a good buddy of mine who's still there as a police officer now, he actually, had to fire his gun. So really
Scary,
crazy
man.
experience. Something to have a couple beers over and be like, dude, what were you feeling? How was that?
Yeah.
So it's good time to talk about it and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm no wimp, but I've never really like shot a gun or had a gun. And I kind of feel like I respect the Second Amendment, and I like respect the fact that the citizens should have guns and stuff. But I'm kind of like, all right, as long as everyone else has it, I'll be safe. Like I'm good. But I think it'd be like, yeah, definitely an adrenaline rush to just like always have one. But so you moved on from being a cop, had a fun experience with it. Was there any skills that cross over from being a cop to kind of being more an entrepreneur, more in business, or are they very different things?
absolutely. And that's a really great question, because that's something that I also share with new entrepreneurs that come into our organization here with Patrick and David's firm. I learned how to talk to people and ask the right questions. Because when you pull up to a scene, you're not there you're there to find out what happened before you got there. And you're only going to find out what happened if you ask the right questions and find the right people, that have the intel that's going to help you.
A little bit of detective
Exactly.
work is what you're talking about.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. And that's just logic, kind of understanding, right? Like you said, asking the right questions, being able to read people a little bit.
Yes, tonality.
Okay.
Everything.
Right. And you don't want to, give away everything you're thinking, but also try to get stuff from them. Okay. That's kind of sales. And also, so that's the skill that crosses over. Wow.
You would have made a great cop, Sean.
I think so. I actually would have, I think I maybe in theory, but I hate getting people in trouble, man. I mean, I have 15, 16 employees. I just had to fire one of my big employees. But just with like, if someone was like underage drinking, I just would not be able to get them in trouble. I just would be like, I don't care, man. I actually got in trouble a lot with the cops when I was in college. Just like disorderly conducts, like some underage drinking, just, I don't know. And it's funny because every time I acted like a punk to the cops, like, oh, officer, I'm not causing any harm to society, I got in trouble. And then as I got older and I got pulled over a couple of times, I was just much more respectful because, I got a little smarter, but also, I also learned to respect the fact that law enforcement is doing good to the community. I'm not stupid. So I was just a little more respectful, and I just noticed that when I'm more respectful, it went a lot better for me.
Exactly. It goes a long way.
Yeah. And I think, that's something that's going on now with there's people that are scared of the cops or think the cops that are bad people. They're not, right? Everyone's there to protect the community.
They are. I'll tell you this, for all the bad cops, there's 5 times more good cops out there.
That's it? Oh my God, that's it? You're saying 20% of the cops are bad?
Hey, from my personal experience, like I said, I'm not dropping names, but there are some people out there that I know that are still doing it that I wouldn't reelect them if there was a vote. So I'll just say that.
What are they, racist or something?
No, it's a little bit of that, but there's a lot of corruption in the police force nowadays, Sean. And actually, it's been around like that. Where did they get the ideas for movies? Right? They knew someone.
So corruption would be meaning they want to charge a certain amount of people for this crime to make a certain politician look better, or what would be some broad type of corruption that would affect a police on the street?
I'll give you an idea. So as we know, there's a lot of underground gambling. There's a lot of underground, I'll say, sales, right? What kind of sales I'm talking about?
Drugs probably.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're there as a police officer for so many years and you're like, dude, I keep busting this person, and they keep, they get out eventually. And then their little minions are here, and it just multiplies and it grows. Well, why not tax them? Why not tax them? Okay. And, I'm speaking from knowing things, right? And again, I'm not here to snitch. I'm not here to rat anybody out, but
say their name.
It's out there, Sean. It's out there.
Okay, that makes sense. I already tried so many times. It doesn't seem to be working. Just give me damn 15% or something like that, and I'll stay off your back. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the movies. That's cool, though. Whew. What a clip, right? You're having fun? You're having fun here? If you enjoyed that video, you'll probably like this video. You'll probably like this video too. And while you're at it, just subscribe to the show. It helps me out. It'll make your life better. But honestly, the fact that you watch one video, couldn't appreciate you more. Thanks for watching.